Alrighty. Welcome to Romera Records podcast. Today we have on
Met Montrel.
How's it going, man?
I'm going good, man. Doing good.
Good. So yeah, you've been working with Ryan.
I have.
Yeah. How's that been going?
It's exciting. I actually started working with him in March of this year.
Oh, really?
And I just was with him like 2 days ago. I did a 5-hour session.
Okay.
So it's always good to be with Ryan.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, for sure. I just randomly found him, started doing that podcast with him, and then like slowly things have been like connections. Like it's been crazy. So I used to use my Twitter just for like sports. And then I decided, like, screw it. Let me just do it for music too. 'Cause Instagram was just for my music.
Yeah.
So I started following like a bunch of producers and artists and stuff on Twitter. Well, some random person was like, everybody post your music on down below and I'll follow your YouTube. So I posted one of my videos and some guy liked it and he was like, yo, this is fire. And I was like, all right, cool, thanks. I went to his profile and he said he was in Memphis. And I was like, oh, snap, you're in Memphis? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. So I went and looked at his tweets. Yeah. And one of his tweets was a video with Ryan. And I was like, no way.
That's crazy.
Are you on Twitter?
I'm not on Twitter.
You're not on Twitter?
I'm not on Twitter.
Man, at first, as I said, I just did the sports thing, and I was like, I don't really care to do Twitter with my music. It's whatever. Like, I know you can blow up quick with it because like people will get those retweets and likes, and it just takes one person. But it's pretty legit.
I always say it just takes one person, one opportunity, one room. It always takes just one of something.
Yeah.
And it can change your life forever. So
absolutely. I mean, have you made any like weird connections through social media, like a Facebook, Instagram, something like that?
Not really. I met a couple of people just by performing in like little shows around town. So I've met like a couple people. I'm actually working on my album now. So I've met like about 3 people that I met doing competitions. I asked them to come on and be features on my album. And so all of them agreed to it. That's why I was with Ryan for the other day. I had to cut a demo for them so they'll have something to go off of. So we just getting them back in, and it's always good to collab with other people, especially with the same mindset as you. So
absolutely,
it's fun.
I have completely realized how much collaboration can change your career.
It can. It's all about growing your fan base because it's like now you reached a whole nother audience that probably wouldn't have reached on your own, but just by you having a feature, you reach that audience. So it's amazing, and it allows the listeners to hear another good sound and another good person. So I'm always good for collabs.
Exactly. Yeah. And a big phrase, I guess, that's popping up lately is collabs over competition, is because people have started getting these competitions of,
that's true.
People start hating on other people, and it's like, dude, like, if y'all would stop hating on each other, y'all can make a great hit.
That's all it takes. I always say that we're always stronger together than apart. So I don't care if it's just someone that's starting off or whatever. I want to be in the room with you. Let's make some hits. Let's make some, music and stuff like that. Yeah. Or whatever. So
I mean, that really came into play. Remember when Drake and Meek Mill had that beef?
Yeah, they did.
Dude, like they had, God, what was the song that they had?
You talking prior to?
Yeah, prior to the beef.
What was the name of that song? I can't remember.
Rico. They had Rico.
Was it Rico?
It was on Meek Mill's album.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was like a red background with the money sign.
It was.
So they had Rico together, and that song blew up. And then after that is when they had that little beef.
Yep.
And then I think the next song they did together was Going Bad, which was on Meek Mill's next to last album he had or something like that.
That's when they came back after all the turmoil. I
yeah.
Say.
Yeah, I mean,
it was good. It was good.
I mean, the beef brought out some good songs.
Did bring out the
back to back came.
Classic. Back to back is classic.
Yeah, I mean, competition does bring out good stuff, but it was like, come on, man, like,
y'all make much. It's too much. It's too much.
It was, especially over it was pretty much over Nicki, and now Meek ain't even with her, so it's like, what were we even doing?
It's pointless now.
It was all pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how the industry is, though.
It is. It's scary.
If you pay attention to stuff that happens in the music industry, people will do dumb stuff and then
blow up.
Yeah, blow up off of it, and then like later on it'll be irrelevant. And it's like,
it will be. And it's like, you're here. You got here. Why again?
Yeah,
something that wasn't even relevant now. But
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even people like Tekashi, like dude came out of nowhere.
I rock with him.
Yeah, you like your Tekashi?
I like his music. I really rock with him. A lot of people don't like him because of the whole snitch thing and all that kind of stuff, but I will go on record saying that I rock with him.
I mean,
his music.
There are some people you just have to take them for who they are.
Exactly.
And some people, you know, they're trying to make him somebody he's not.
Yep.
Like the famous video. Have you seen Common like getting upset at Lil Yachty? It's
I haven't seen it.
So what is that show? It's got DJ Academics, Common.
It's a TV show?
Not Common. What's his name? Is it Common?
You probably be talking about Joe Budden.
Joe Budden. Yeah, everybody gets them mixed up.
Okay.
Or I'm getting them mixed up. But Joe Budden. I don't know why. But anyways, so yeah, Joe Budden and DJ Academics and that chick. I can't think of her name. They've got that.
I don't watch it much, but I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, anyway, so Joe Budden is like talking about Lil Yachty, and he's like, dude, like, you know, you can articulate yourself well, and it's like, but you make this trash music, and he's just like upset at him, and because like of, you know, the type of music, and also like he's saying he doesn't really care about this and that, and having great lyrics, he's not into it, and Joe Budden's just getting upset, and then Lil Yachty's like, bro, chill. He's like, I just make music. Right. That's all I do. And, you know, I'm making money. Who cares?
Who cares? You know.
So, I mean, that's just that generational gap. Like, Joe Budden's age group of people expect different than what Lil Yachty's age group.
Absolutely.
So how old are you?
I'm 27, and I was just going to say I feel like that's why I have a hard time reaching audiences, just because I know how my music is. Like, I love old school music. Like, I was just listening. I know I'm probably gonna get roasted for this, but I was just listening to "Home Alone." I want to say, is it called, by R. Kelly?
I don't even know that song.
It's like beats everywhere, something like that.
I don't know that one.
Okay, but it's like a house party song from the 90s or whatever.
Okay.
So I love music like that is feel good and it's real relaxing. Back when the time when, you know, it wasn't about social media, it was about having a good time, and it was about, you know, just doing stuff that, you know, makes you feel good or whatever. Yeah. So I feel like that's my music, but it kind of goes between like, is it R&B? Is it blues? Is it pop? Is it whatever? Because growing up, I come from a blues background. Like, my family, I'm from Mississippi originally. I've been in Memphis about 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, when you had called me, it was a Mississippi number. I was like, I don't know anybody.
Yep, that's it. So my mom, my family was real big on blues. So we go to blues concerts, festivals. I'm literally like, for Thanksgiving, we all pack up and drive like 2 hours to go to this big blues concert.
Nice.
So I love like people like Betty Wright and Shirley Brown and Johnny Taylor and Willie Clayton, all that kind of type of people. So I feel like when I make my music, I like to incorporate those sounds, as well as like Anita Baker and like the funness that Whitney Houston songs had in them. And it's just, I know sometimes it can get lost, but I have to remember that, you know, everyone is not going to get it.
Yeah.
But I also have to remember that someone is going to get it, you know? And I always say, whether I have 1 supporter or 1 million, I'm going to do what I love, which is, I love writing music, and I love like going to the studio. It's just an outlet for me, honestly. It's just, I'm not a real good communicator when it comes to my feelings, but I can make like the one of the best love songs there is, and it's be like, how do you even do this? And it's crazy, because I guess it's just my way of expressing myself, I'm guessing. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, some people are just, you know, they have different avenues on how they want to attack the music industry, and in my opinion, you just do what you want to do, and then somebody out there is going to appreciate what you're doing, and you might as well just do what you love. I mean, it's just like in life. You could work at McDonald's or you could work at a Fortune 500 company, but if you're upset at what you're doing, then
change it.
Sucks. Just change it. change what you're doing. If you're going to pick something in life, you might as well just be happy doing the thing you're doing, because at the end of the day, you'll know that you'll be happy doing it. And a lot of people say they rather be rich and upset, and it's like,
give me a paycheck to paycheck with a little happiness, and I'm all good.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well like try to find that happy medium. Like if you're making, $40,000 a year and all you do is music, then congrats. I think that's an accomplishment. That's being successful.
It is.
So I don't know. Some people, they don't really get that, and I mean. I do think that a lot more musicians have a better chance at making more money nowadays. Like, do you have a Bandcamp?
What is a Bandcamp?
So Bandcamp, I'm about to put you on.
Lay it out.
So I actually didn't even really know about Bandcamp until you know who Louise Page is.
I don't.
So I had Louise Page. I had Louise Page on. She's a singer in the Memphis area, and actually that's the name of her whole band is called Louise Page, but that's her name too.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so she has a Bandcamp. So it's bandcamp.com, and basically it's like your own website for you as a musician.
Okay.
And all you have to do is just sign up, and then basically you can like upload your music onto the website, and people can listen to your music on your profile, and then also buy your music from your profile. So you can have like I don't know if it's like a pro membership or whatever. It's like $10 a month, but I think you can also do a free membership. I don't know what the difference is. I'm actually thinking about downgrading from the payment one to I think the free one. I think there is a free one, but yeah. So it's a really great website.
Okay.
Because I was actually trying to like start buying music from my friends, like all my friends that do music. I was going to buy something that they have, and then I was thinking, I was like, how do you buy music?
The biggest question, especially when people don't have like iTunes or you know, stuff like that. How do they buy it? Because I work at a school here in Memphis. I work at a elementary school, and I tell my coworkers, I tell them about my music and stuff like that. My principal came to me. She was like, "How do you buy it?" I said, "Well, I don't know." She said she doesn't have anything. I was like, "Well, it's on YouTube. You can go watch it." "Can you pay for it on YouTube?" I was like, "No." She said, "No, I'm trying to buy it. I want to support you."
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how.
Well, now you know. Bandcamp.
I know how.
Bandcamp, yeah. Like it's a crazy thing because that's what I was trying to do. I was just trying to buy my friend's music, and then I was like, "Whoa, how do you do it?" But Amazon's one way. So if you use like a TuneCore or DistroKid, CD Baby, that kind of stuff,
I do.
If you have your music on Amazon, then you can buy it off Amazon. That's super easy. But other than that, like Bandcamp's the only like super easy official way I know to like buy music, and which is kind of weird. I think Spotify would and all those other companies, they would really benefit from being able to just
purchase it.
Yeah, have purchasable
Spotify,
music.
You can't purchase on Spotify.
No,
I didn't think so.
So if somebody just opened that up, I think that would be like all the artists would just funnel into that. Do you use Tidal?
I do.
So I wonder if Tidal has that on there.
Well, I don't use it like as my streaming service.
Oh, you just have your music on there?
My music is on Tidal,
Yeah. If Tidal's one of those, what do you call it? Like, I can't think of the name of it, but just like not that many people use it, but if they did use it, they would realize how great it is.
I used to have it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
They pay the most money out of like all the streaming sites. And so it's, if people stream your music on Tidal, that's what you're going to make the most money off of.
Absolutely.
What are you currently getting your like most streams off of? Do you know?
Apple Music.
Apple? Okay. Yeah. I mean, Apple seems like a good gateway because like everybody's, if they've got an iPhone they're probably going to use Apple Music.
Right.
So Apple Music and Spotify seem like the two heavy hitters right now.
Oh yes, definitely. I can't seem to break out in Spotify for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I just can't seem to just get a lot of plays in Spotify how I get in Apple Music. So I guess this with my next project coming up, I definitely want to learn how to dominate Spotify because I feel like Spotify is a heavy hitter when it comes to streams.
It is. It is.
Yep.
Do you have any playlist on Spotify? Like, have you gotten your music in a playlist?
No, I submit it every time though.
Really?
I submit it, but it hasn't got picked up.
All right. I think I'm about to put you on another website. So there's a website called Submit Hub.
Okay.
And so Submit Hub, it's kind of good and it's kind of bad at the same time. So I'll explain. So you have to pay, like you get a free membership, I believe, and then you have to pay to get credits on the website. So when you get these credits, I think it's like for $6 you get 5 credits, and you can go all the way up to like 100 credits for like $80. So you get these credits, and what you do is you upload your music onto Submit Hub, and then you can pay curators. Curators are people like Instagram influencers or people who have like a playlist on Spotify. You basically get credits through them, and like you use your credits on them, and you submit your music. So every time you submit your music to them, you've used a credit.
Gotcha.
Now, when you do that, they can either decline it and be like, your music doesn't fit my playlist, or they can use it. So if they accept it, then they'll put your music in their playlist, and that's a win-win thing.
That's a win. I've been trying to get in playlists since I started releasing, so that'll be amazing to be on the playlist.
Yeah, so Submit Hub, it kind of sucks because I think it's kind of pricey. Like for $80, it's 100 credits. I've been denied. I think I've sent out 3 different songs to, I want to say about 40 different people, and I've only got accepted by 3.
Oh, wow.
So you have to be strategic. So you can't take, like an R&B song and submit it to a grunge or grime hip hop playlist because they're automatically going to decline it.
Right.
And then you just have to be strategic on like how many of your credits you're going to use because, you paid for those. So you just have to know what you're doing and who you're sending out to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you can find somebody who's got a big name playlist and just submit it to them, then boom, like your music is going to skyrocket.
It will. It's just to getting it out there. It's the hard part, especially when you really like. For me, I know I do all this alone. So I write my own music. I go to the studio alone, and unless I do a feature or something, then we'll go together or something like that. But for the most part, like the promotion, even like the little videos that I post to promote for the music, I do all it on my own. Yeah. So it's just like it's getting it out there is the hard part or whatever. For me, it is. Yeah. Like, well, I can reach a certain amount of people, but it's only like probably like 3% of the world that I can probably reach. Yeah. So, but I do the little Facebook ads and the Instagram ads and all that kind of stuff, so it runs, but I see probably like 800-900 views or whatever from that, but it's still not, bringing in a lot of momentum.
Yeah, I've heard that Facebook ads are like one of the best things to do. Yeah. But so I've done a Facebook ad one time. I think I spent probably like $100 and something on the ad.
Oh, wow.
And I had I think I got like 5,000 views off of it. It was a video that I posted on YouTube, and then I did a Facebook ad on it and got like 5,000 views off of it, but no interactions.
See, that's my thing. Is I get the views, but no interactions.
Which is weird to me.
It's very weird.
Like, you would at least expect somebody to be like, yo, this is trash. I didn't even get that.
Right, no thumbs down, no nothing. It's like nothing, like no interaction, nothing but views. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. You don't even know if real people are even seeing it.
Exactly.
So I don't know. But I've heard Facebook's
makes you wonder.
the way to go. It does.
Makes you wonder.
It does. I mean, I'm all for using Instagram and Facebook, paying them to do my ads, but if I don't get any real followers or likes or stuff like that,
it's just really a waste of money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're not getting link clicks and all that kind of stuff. It's not really worth it to me.
Yeah.
So I just feel like when I do my album, I got to come up with a different approach as to how I'm gonna release it. I got something real special coming forward. That's why I released my EP in the meantime, because I've been working on my album since March, and I've been working. Well, the album is done, almost done. Once I get the features added on, they'll be done pretty much. But I'm working on visuals for it, so it's just like I didn't want to wait until all the visuals get done.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let me just put something out, and that's why I came up with the concept of In the Meantime.
Okay.
And that type thing. But I just feel like when the album come, I definitely want to really promote and really have. Well, let me ask you this: how do you feel about paying social influencers like directly to post your music or something like that, or ad on their page for like 24 hours? You know, they had the specials for like $80, and then they'll post on their page for like 24 hours.
Yeah, so I've had a really bad experience with like paying people.
Oh no.
So what was it? God, I can't. I think his name's like Bo or something like that on YouTube. Yeah. But he reviews like people's videos.
Okay.
It's like one of those type of guys. And I was like, oh, this would be amazing because like he gets like hundreds of thousands of views.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, if he can just review one of my videos and everybody's going to see my music, it's going to be awesome. Well, I tried to contact him, and it was kind of a weird exchange. Like it took him a while to get back, and he was being short with me, and I wasn't understanding what was going on. So he said it was like $20 for a review, and I was like, all right, cool. So I sent him the $20, and then he was like, all right, it'll be up in like by tomorrow or something like that. I was like, all right, cool. So I think the day had went by, and like a couple of days went by, and I messaged him again and didn't hear anything back.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yo, you're just like asking people for money and scamming people. I was like,
for $20.
I was like, you're lame and all this stuff. And
This madness.
I was like, whatever. So from then on out, like I'm a fool me once type of person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like even with my podcast, like there have been people who said they would come on the podcast, and there'll be a no call, no show, and they won't say anything, and I'm just like, all right, never again. Like, sorry, but I gave you a shot. You could at least said you weren't coming.
You know, there's burning bridges.
You know. So I'm like, sorry. You know, I'm not wishing the worst on you or anything. I'm just saying, like, I've got time. You know, like time is money for me. So if you're wasting my time, I can't afford to literally try to schedule you again. So
absolutely.
I said all that to say this. Be careful with that. I would definitely make sure that, like, I would probably pay the person after they do it.
Gotcha.
So, and number one, like quality wise. So let's say you pay them the money, and then they don't really they don't really do a good job on it, and you're like, crap, I just paid them for trash.
The only thing I have done is like music reviews. Like this guy, he works with like Lil Boosie and Lil Baby. Mm-hmm. And he does like music reviews every week. So it's about $20. You cash up him like $20, and then he'll go on Instagram Live and then play your music and stuff like that. So I've done that with him. If he played the music and he was just like, I needed to work on my bars a little bit, but he was just like, it was like a lot of potential and stuff like that. So it was real. It was good, to say the least.
Yeah, that's good.
It was real good, real informing. It made me look at things from a different angle or whatever. So it's always good. I love criticism.
Yeah,
like when I go to the studio with Ryan, I'll be recording something. He'll immediately stop it and be like, "Let's try something else." And I'll be like, "Ryan, come on, man." Come on, man.
But those are the type of people that you need to keep around.
Absolutely.
Like, people don't understand that. Like the people who are critiquing you are the people who care.
Absolutely.
I mean, so I had my friend Flight Pilot D, I had him in here, and he was like, man, you were always getting on everything I do. I was like, because I want it to sound good.
Right,
like,
right.
If I just sat there and was like, yeah, good.
That would make me feel some type of way. Definitely, definitely.
All right, next. Like, you want somebody to actually be on you about it. So.
Ryan was really like the second studio I really just went to. I had one engineer in Jackson, Mississippi, that I went to for 5 years. I went to him straight, and Ryan was really the first engineer that I have gone to outside of him. So the transition was different or whatever because the guy back in Jackson, Mississippi, he runs his things a little different. He was sort of like how you just said. He'll be just go in there. I'll ask him, how do you feel about this? And he was like, how do you feel about it? Or whatever. And I was like, oh, Lord. But the more I went to him, the more he started giving me critique and telling me to try this and try that and all that kind of stuff. But when I started working with Ryan, it was kind of like almost off the bat, it was a good working relationship and that type thing. Then he got to the point where he wouldn't hold back, and he'll tell me, this don't sound right, or he'll change the melody and that, like, you can't sing that run. Don't try to sing that run. Just sing it out flat. He'll tell me, he'll save me. He'll definitely save me. And I feel like that's why I trust his opinion.
Yeah.
And that type thing. He actually he told me to reach out to you about getting beats made. Because I told him, I said, I no longer want to do 2-track beats. I don't want them in my life. I don't want to go to YouTube and find beats and pay people. Like, no, I want to beat built from scratch and something that's gonna fit my voice that way it can be 10 times way better than what it is.
And that's another thing I've looked into with the on the Twitter thing. It's a bunch of producers I've been following. It's not so many actual artists, like singers or rappers or anything. And they'll all be complaining about the artists and how they don't want that customized
that's crazy
art to it. And I'm just like, man, that's everything.
That's the best thing since sliced bread. Honestly, having your own beat and it's centered around your voice, specifically your voice. Exactly. It's gonna be amazing.
Exactly.
It's gonna be amazing. So,
and even so from an engineer standpoint, so if you've got somebody with a deep voice, if they have a lot of bass in the song, it doesn't work well because the low frequencies will be clashing. And a lot of people don't really understand that. So having a producer that knows your voice and knows what's going on with you, then they could literally customize everything. And it would be great to just go to BeatStars and to find a beat and buy it and stuff like that, but it's something different, especially just being in the same room as the person.
As the person making the beat come alive. And you just vibing with the beat and you write to the beat, and I want that every time I go to the studio. Honestly, I want that process. Not saying that, nothing is wrong with 2-track beats. I just feel like I want more for myself as an artist, and more for myself is to get, quality beats made that are just for me. I'm currently in the process of trying to turn my other bedroom into a little mini studio.
Nice.
Because I realize that I'll write a song and I think the song is so dope, and then I'll go record it with Ryan. I'll be like, I don't really like this. After I done recorded it and heard it back, I really don't care for it or whatever. So I definitely want to create my own studio at home just so I can record stuff and see how it sounds before I actually go to Ryan to get it done or whatever. And I just think that just goes back to taking complete control of my artistry and stuff like that. I'm a control freak when it comes to my music. It took me 5 years to release.
Dang.
I had when I released my first song, I had about 40-some songs recorded that I had never released.
Wow.
I was too scared to, and all of a sudden this year it was just what?
Crazy.
Just go for it. Just start releasing. And I had people to support me. Yeah. And I just did it. And every time I get ready to post a song or a project, it's always nerve-wracking. I literally have to post it. I'll make a little initial post and be like, it's out right now.
Close your eyes.
I would literally turn my phone off for the rest of the night. I'm telling you, I would turn my phone off, or I'll turn off my notifications for social media because I don't know. I don't know how it's being received. It's scary. It's scary.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, there's so many people that have anxiety in the music business, and people don't understand that. God, who was that? I think it was the Black Keys were on a Joe Rogan podcast, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I've got bad anxiety." Like they're one of they
The
won
worst.
Grammys and all this. Like they have all these accolades, and he was like, "Yeah, I've got bad anxiety." He was like, I would almost throw up every time we go on stage."
Yes.
And he was like, "What?"
Right.
It's like, "You're the Black Keys."
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, man, it's pretty bad." And I was do you know who TNT is? The producer?
TNT, I don't.
He's made a lot of records for I think
Is
NBA.
he here in Memphis?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he's actually in Atlanta, but
Nice.
he's done a lot of stuff with NBA YoungBoy lately, and who else is he? I think he's done one with Rod Wave and some other people. But yeah, he was doing an Instagram live, which was really cool. Like he would do like a beat critique, so people could send in their beats to him while he's on Instagram live, and he would like review the beats. And I was like,
lit.
"Oh, that's pretty dope."
That's lit.
And he was like, "Man, right now this is crazy." He was like, "I don't usually get on the phone." He's like, "I don't like having my face in front of people." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh my God!" I mean, this dude's got plaques, like platinum,
If
gold
he like
plaques.
that, it's so crazy. If he like that,
I mean, it sucks for the people, like the consumers, because consumers love to just see people in action.
they do.
I mean, that's what social media is. Like you just want to see everything that's going on in
Everything, yeah.
people's lives. So if somebody's got anxiety about being in front of a camera, like you can't get that from them.
Yeah.
Which, as a consumer, it's kind of selfish, but that's what you want. You want
It
the
is.
entertainers to entertain.
Yep, you want to see that? I spoke with a guy here. He has a studio out near Whidden Road, and he invited me to his studio. We just literally talked for 30 minutes, and he was just telling me that it's a show. It's
Yeah.
a show. You have to put on the show. You have to show them what you eating. You have to show them
Yeah.
you going to the studio. You have to show them behind the scenes what you doing, just because people love to see a show. And I don't feel like I've gotten there yet. I really feel like I need me a personal photographer or a videographer to just follow me around to record stuff and take pictures
Yeah.
in order for me to be there. But it's like, who has time for that,
Exactly.
And who has the budget for that when you have to pay for studio time and pay for, visuals and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy and difficult at the same time.
It is.
I mean, how hard is it to just, have somebody to just take those pictures while you're doing something? But at the same time, you don't want to feel like it's fake. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want to have a bunch of pictures and look like it's all set up. And which, that's what a lot of people do. I mean, that's to be real.
Yeah. I don't think that I wouldn't do anything fake. I know for sure. I wanted to just follow me around. I want the people to see. I was thinking about investing in a camera, and every time I turn, the second bedroom that I have, I've turned it into like a workspace. So I got like posters everywhere.
Nice.
And about like storyboards and people that I like my music that is influenced by and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just go in there and I want to get like a camera just to sit up, because that's why I go in, I write, I turn on my little LED lights, I blue it out or green it out, whatever feeling I'm feeling, and I literally just write for hours sometimes, and I really want that documented, but it just, I feel like I need to invest in the camera, and I need to invest in me like a little home studio, or whatever, to be more successful.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go too far away, because my job should be just to be the artist,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not the videographer and
Yeah.
not the engineer and stuff. So
Yeah, that's
complicated.
been my problem. I love doing random stuff. Like I love learning like new skills and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So I ended up buying a camera, and I've got the podcast. I've got all this stuff, and I just have to like focus. I'm just like, yo, what do you want to do?
Everything. What do you mean? Everything at
Yeah.
the same time. You want to do everything at the
Exactly.
same time. Everything is fulfilling. I think just this path and this career is just fulfilling for me. If I could wake up, I always said that if someone offered me my salary, my yearly salary in my job I currently have, I would quit for a year.
Yeah.
You give me my salary, I would quit for a year, and I devote myself solely to music and solely to like perfecting my craft and that type of thing. And I don't think songwriting is out the window for me as well. I feel like I'm a great songwriter, so I would love to write songs for other artists and stuff like that. but I don't want to be that person that just write the song, give it to them, and then they just do what they want. I would want to be in the studio and be like, no, this is how this should go.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it. This is not how it's supposed to go. What are you doing? Yeah. So that'll be me.
I mean, that's part of being a producer. You know, it's like a director. You know, you direct a movie. Like you've got this vision in mind of how this movie is supposed to go.
Right.
And you know, say if you bring in Will Smith and he's supposed to be acting the same way as The Rock, and it's like, no, don't do it like that. Do it like how The Rock would do it. And it's like, then you got the wrong person doing it. So it's, you know, music is the same way. You know, if you have a vision, you just get it in the hands of the right people, and then they're going to smash it. Like they're going to do a great job. I had my friend Buddy. He made this conversation go full circle. It was hilarious. But he was talking about we were talking about how great an actor Denzel Washington is. And then we just started talking about so many other things. And then he was like, dude, you know how awesome it is when somebody has or if you have a concept of how a song should go and then they know exactly what you're talking about. And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's how good Denzel is. And I was like,
automatically knows what the director wants.
And I was like, that is right. I mean, Denzel, you know, he's a great actor. And if you tell him do this in a movie, then he's going to hit it automatically. So that's how I envision people like a Beyonce. You know, if you write a song, I don't know if you know this, but Neo wrote that song Irreplaceable. So he probably wrote that song. I don't know if he wrote it for Beyonce or if he just wrote it and then was like, ooh, Beyonce would be good for this.
Right.
So I'm sure Beyonce is just one of those people that just, if you give her something and if it was for her, she'll kill it. She'll kill it every time.
Yep, absolutely.
Is that something that you have made a step toward, or if you just thought about it and like, I might want to start writing music for people?
My friend, he's more like a brother to me. He lives up in Houston, and he has a friend that does music, and he was telling me that his friend really, really liked my music and said that he would love for me to write for him because he does music.
Oh, wow.
That's when I was like, I was like, I've never just thought about writing for anyone else other than myself and that type thing, because I was like, I don't like a lot of rejection when it comes to my craft. I can do criticism, but just flat out like, no, this is just whack. It would probably light some fire in me to go harder, but at that time I'd be like, I'll probably be a little down or whatever, but I'm all game for, writing for other people and that type thing. I just feel like if the vibe is there and the mindset is there, then let's go. Let's create a hit.
Yeah. So have people been hitting you up for features?
A couple of people have.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be working on a album. I'm doing like a joint album with another artist here in Memphis. We did one feature together, and it turned out really, really dope. And we just want to kind of take it from there.
Yeah.
So we're doing a joint album together. And then my friend I was telling you about in Houston, we're doing a joint album together.
Nice.
It's gonna be probably like a little EP, a little small album, like 4 or 5 tracks. But it's always exciting. I feel like when I collab with people, it actually pushes me as a writer and as an artist, because I'd be like, you know what, it's not just me, so I really got to bring the heat, so I don't lag and have the other person to pick up from where I lag or whatever. We both should be equally, right on the same level or whatever. So just writing with other people kind of pushes me to do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's 2 parts to that. You don't want to be the bad person on the song.
You never want to be the bad person.
You don't want to be the person that everybody made fun of that's on the song.
Right.
And then
or
also,
fast forward through.
Yeah. And then also, you don't want to make the person feel bad that they brought you onto the song.
Right.
Like, I asked you to be on this song and I regret it. You know what I mean?
Song, I haven't had one of those yet.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those yet, but we'll see how these features come. But I feel like everyone who I asked to be a part of my album, feature wise, I think they're very talented and extremely talented. And they just feel like I just want everyone to eat. I want everybody to grow.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing for the album, I'm doing like I'm following Beyonce still. I want to do it's gonna be a visual album.
Oh, nice.
So we've literally been filming since June.
Oh, wow.
I found my videographer. This funny story how I found him. I was literally looking online. I was going on Instagram and just trying to find videographers in Memphis. I found a couple. They was like one location, one scene, like $500. I was like, oh my goodness, like this, the prices is up. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was literally going to the store this on the corner of my near my apartment, and I saw this guy just standing outside with a camera taking pictures of like grass and stuff on the floor. And I said, let me turn around. So I pulled up on him. I bet he thought I was somebody crazy just pulling up.
Yeah.
Because he's just with a camera. I was like, I see you with a camera. I said, I'm an artist. I need like a videographer. And he was like, I'm looking to get into that.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, this could work. So
yeah.
he was like, send me a song. And I sent him the song and stuff like that. He was like, okay. He said, I listened to the song. We met and everything. What started off is just going to be one music video. We end up in, like, the first time we talked, we was like, let's just do a visual album for it.
Nice.
So we've been going hard at it since June or whatever. So now with the people that I've asked to be features on, it gives them opportunities to have a music video too, you know.
Exactly.
So it's not just about, you know, me elevating, it's about them elevating too or
exactly.
whatever.
So, and I think people would definitely appreciate that. You know, not only are you trying to uplift yourself, but you're trying to help them out.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely.
And that's what I really want to get from like Romera Records, my company, is I just want to help people out. Like I don't really care about the money. Like the money's going to come.
It's going to come.
If I got a strong team, it's going to come. I just want to just connect people and like build people together. And so eventually, as I said, the money will come, and if you just like work on your craft.
Patient.
Yeah, be patient, work on your craft, get good quality stuff out there, and everybody's just gonna have fun doing it. And you're not even gonna
be so fun.
Yeah, you're not even gonna realize like what you're doing.
Right,
like,
right.
People are gonna be like, "Yo, y'all team is crazy." I'm like, "Oh snap, yeah, we are."
Y'all crazy, man. It's a good crazy.
Yeah,
it's a good crazy. It's like a constant high that I'm always catching. Like when we first shot for the first time back in June, we did like 10 hours a day. And I was like, oh my goodness, we would literally get up and we would shoot 10 hours nonstop.
Wow.
The guy, my videographer, his name is Roosevelt. And he's been very, very patient. I have changed the track list 1,000,000 times. I have wrote new songs. He said, listen, this is it. Now don't change it no more. But literally, you know, I done changed it again. He probably gonna see this and be like, oh, he done changed it again. But yeah, I done changed it again on him. But you know, he's always very supportive. I was like, he just want to make sure my vision comes, you know, to fruition and stuff like that. So I'm really appreciative of Roosevelt as well as Ryan, because I feel like I wouldn't be musically, like vocally, I wouldn't be where I am without Ryan, just because I used to get in the booth and be scared to like sing, and I'd be scared to like do this, and Ryan was just like, you should sing more, because not everyone know how to sing, so you should sing more. And I was like, okay, well, let me just try to sing more, because I always felt like I couldn't sing, honestly. I was like, and he was like, just sing more. So I started singing more. I started writing these difficult songs to sing. Like one of the most difficult songs it was to record was All of Me, and it was just, I was like saying it real low and quietly. Ryan was like, you gotta put some feeling in it, like pull it from your stomach, pull it from your gut. And I was like, at first I was like, what does that mean? Like, how do you pull it from your gut? So I'm in the studio trying. He was like, it's cool. He said, you got it. And eventually, like, I started to pull it from there, and I felt what he was saying or whatever. So I'm forever grateful for Ryan for, you know, pushing me to be where I am today. And I'm forever grateful for, you know, Roosevelt for, you know, every time I do record a song, I run it by him. He's like my team. Roosevelt has been like my team member, my teammate when it comes to this whole album and stuff like that. He's done a lot of things and given me a lot of ideas to go like visually and stuff like that. And it's good to have people like that behind you or whatever, because it's just hard to come by, you know?
Yeah.
Especially like, because like I said, we've been filming since June, and Roosevelt hasn't asked me for a dime to this day, you know, and it's October. So, you know, it's about him winning, me winning. This is something he's getting into. This is something that I want to get into. So we both come up together, you know?
Yeah.
And It's just amazing, man. It's just amazing because I never thought I'd be here. I never thought I'd be making music, releasing music. Because I've always made it, but never thought I'd release.
So you said it took you the 5 years, but how long have you actually like been writing?
I started writing back in like junior high school. I actually wrote, where I come from, we do like a class song, and a class song is like a well-known song that's already on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Like doing like "Missing You" by Brandy and stuff like that. There was a class song, and you basically just take that song, take that beat, and then just change it and make it the lyrics to fit your class.
Oh, okay.
So that was my first song I ever written, was that, and I wrote like 4 or 5 of them. And people was coming to me, but like, can you write a class song? Because you have to submit it in order to. So a lot of people in the other classes, they'll be like, could you write me a song so I can submit it so I can have my name saying I wrote
nice.
I was like, I wrote the song, but okay.
Nah.
So that's why I started writing, and then I actually from there I started writing movies. And I made it to like page 18 of writing the movies, but it is just so detailed and just so much time.
Yeah,
it's so much time going to writing a movie script. But I let this author read it that worked in my job, and she was like, it is so vividly, like I can see everything, I can picture everything you've written, like it's amazing, don't stop or whatever. But I was like, it's just too time consuming. Yeah, and that type of thing. So then I started back getting into writing music, stopped. I'll probably write a song or two, record it, and then stop for a few months, and then go back and write a song or two and record it, and stop for 2 months. And I just feel like, music is the only constant that has been in my life. No matter how much I try to stop writing music and say, oh, well, I'm not going to the studio no more. I'm not wasting no more money. Yeah. I'm not doing this. And I'll be right back in the studio with 5 hours booked. And it'd be like, okay. So I was like, maybe this is God trying to tell me that I need to just really lock in on this, and just hearing other people around me be like, you finna make it and you gonna go far. And I was like, well, this is what people are supposed to say. But for some odd reason, I believe them. Yeah. I believe that, I'm gonna definitely go far with this and that type thing. But my ultimate goal is just to take my mama to a red carpet event. If I do that, I don't need to sell another record. I don't need to do nothing. Let me just take her to a red carpet event and I'll be fulfilled. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, success is different to everybody. A lot of people, I just hate when some people just think that success and money are the same thing. It's not. Like, you don't have to make a ton of money to be successful. Absolutely. Like I consider this podcast a success.
Absolutely.
And I've gotten thousands of views, but it's not where I want to be. But I also find I'm happy that people. It's a lot of organic views where people have literally just gone to the podcast because they were genuinely curious on what's on the podcast. So I'm really feel successful because I've gotten that part of the podcast accomplished. So
you should, man. Definitely.
Even with my music, so I was promoting my music with this this website, and I'm so mad I did it because it was like a couple $100 and you get like thousands of views or thousands of plays on Spotify. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. So I did it and found out I was like, dude, this has to be bots because it just went up so fast. And then also when I stopped doing it, the plays just bottomed out completely. So
what do you mean?
God, what was the name of this website?
The plays like decreased?
Yeah. So I paid the company they said it's like Spotify play promotion. So I was like, okay, awesome. They're going to like promote my music on Spotify. So they're like, if you pay this much, then we'll get you like around this many plays and around this many yada, yada, yada. So I was like, all right, cool. So I paid them that money for the month. And basically, like the amount of plays that like certain songs that I had that I paid for, the plays would just skyrocket. Like I would get probably like on some of my songs I had like 10 to 15,000 plays on them, and before I had probably like 20 or 30 plays on them. And so I was like, awesome, they're promoting it like crazy. Well, I didn't pay him 1 month. I was like, let me stop paying and see what happens, like without the promotion. And it just like completely dropped off, like back to like getting 10 to 15 plays the next month. And I was like, wow, that's got to be bots. Like they're probably not actually promoting that. So I was upset that I paid the money just to get the views, but at least I know now. You know what I mean? Like I only probably spent like $300 on that. And I mean, now people look at my plays and like, oh, he's got a lot of plays.
Right, but they came from
yeah. But so I do tell people, I'm like, yeah, those weren't real. You know, I'm not afraid to tell people, hey, don't do that, because people are going to see, because my monthly listeners on Spotify is like 30 something.
Right.
But I've got like, on some of my songs, I've got like 30,000 plays.
Right.
So it doesn't look right. It looks weird.
You don't add up right.
Yeah. So, and if you see somebody like that, so if you see somebody on Instagram, and if they're on Instagram, they've got like 3 million followers. But if they post something and they have like
100 likes.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now. Like,
something's up. Yeah. So
it's a lot of pages like that. They have DM'd me and they have said, you know, they're like a marketing agency, and what they do is I pay a certain amount of money, and then they post on their Instagram page, or whatever. But I went on the Instagram page and I was going through, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you know, your video gonna get a lot of likes. The videos was getting like 16,000 likes. Everybody post was getting like 15, 16,000 likes." And I just said, let me just click on the like button, because I'm just trying to see, like, and anyway, I went through them. It was like literally fake pages. All I saw were like all the pages were like literally fake. Yeah. Even the comments, it was like the same. It probably said like 50 some comments, but it's probably by like just 3 different pages. It's just commented like the fire sign like a million times.
Yeah,
I was like, so it's really not genuine.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it just because I just didn't think that it was gonna reach anyone.
Correct.
Or whatever.
And plus, like exactly what you're saying, like it's not reaching real people, so you're not getting anything out of it.
Nope.
People might, if somebody stumbles upon it, which is really sad. Like people are more engaged in an artist if they see them having success.
You're right.
Which is so sad. But yeah, if somebody saw it now, which same thing for my page, people see how many plays I have.
It's gonna look nice.
They're like, oh wow, he's a great artist, but at that point, it's like, man, I don't want to keep paying for something that's not real, you know, and it's not real promotion. If you do Google Ads is real. So if you ever get on YouTube and you get an ad on YouTube, that's Google Ads. Okay, like people paid to put that ad on your YouTube whenever. So, but you can use Google Ads. It's
I never thought about using Google Ads.
Yeah, so Google Ads is pretty good. If you have something on YouTube, so if you're shooting a video, you put the video on YouTube, you can use Google Ads to promote the video. So whenever somebody gets on YouTube, your ad will pop up, and it'll be like a certain section of your video or whatever. And it can be kind of expensive, but it's completely organic. So it is for sure. Like, I had a video that I've taken down now because the quality wasn't that great. It was like when I first started out making music. So like my wife actually shoots all my videos. I'll show you some of my videos if you haven't seen them. But it was like one of the first videos I'd ever posted, and I used Google Ads to promote it. And I think I ended up spending like $400 through ads. Wow. And I think I got like, how many did I get? It's either like 10 to 20,000 views off of it. And I got probably like 10 or less comments off of it. But it was like real people, because they were like, hey, I just had my YouTube like just playing in the background, and this song came on, and I thought it was my playlist. And they were like, this is actually a pretty good song. Keep it up. And I was like, that's a real person.
That's a real person.
Yeah. So I was happy to hear those kind of comments, because I knew it was real people, and those are real ads. So as I said, Google Ads, a little expensive. I think it's meant more for like companies, because they've got the money to blow on a Google ad, but it's completely organic. So I would definitely suggest them.
Definitely will. I been trying to get me a savings built up just for like promotional stuff for when I do drop. So because I know I'm realizing that it costs a lot of money to promote.
Yeah, marketing's everything.
It is. Like you can have the best album in the world, but if you don't, no one hears it, then
if nobody knows about it, it's not going to get played.
It's not right. It's not going to do anything for you. So I just feel like I need to build up a lot of money for like marketing and promotion and stuff like that before I drop again, because clearly what I'm doing, it brings in like probably like 2,000 streams or whatever, but you know, this really nothing.
Yeah.
Compared to millions, you know, and that type thing. But
exactly.
I take it for what it is. Like I'm grateful for them, you know. I'm grateful for every stream that I get, whether it's like if it's paused or if it's skipped or whatever. I'm grateful for it because they didn't have to do it, but they did it. You know
exactly.
So,
do you listen to the radio?
I don't.
I was wondering how beneficial that would be. Like I always thought about like trying to get my music on the radio.
Yep.
But I was like, does anybody even listen to the radio? Especially like younger people, because we all use like an app like Spotify or something in our phone, in our cars. So I was like, I don't even know if anybody listens to the radio. I mean, back then that was the thing. Like
you got to get on radio.
Yeah,
you got to get on radio and you got to tour.
Those are the two things: touring and getting on the radio. But now it's like you don't need to do either one of them.
You just need streams.
Yeah. There's this guy I've been listening to. Like he talks about getting your like for independent artists, like all the promotion and the types of things you should be doing. And he had on a guest on his podcast, and it was some chick. I'm not sure the kind of music she does, but I think she said she makes like $85,000 a year doing online concerts, like Facebook Live concerts.
Oh yeah, I
was like, 80 grand a year doing Facebook Live concerts.
That's crazy.
Because have you ever heard of like a virtual tip jar?
Yeah.
So like she would just have a virtual tip jar. She'd do her Facebook Live
with your Cash App or something.
Yep, you can put like your Cash App, your PayPal, whatever, Venmo, and then people were just like tipping her. She was making like 80 grand a year off of just that, and I was like, that is insane.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine.
That'll be love, man.
Yeah, right?
That'll be love just to get on Facebook and go live, and then, you know, they bring in the tips. But that comes with good artistry. That comes with, like, people actually, like, vibing with you and willing to spend money on you. That's the hard part.
Exactly.
That's the hard part.
And I think it's really hard for, like, rappers. I mean, like, you don't really want to listen to somebody just rap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, singing is different. Like, like your voice is like an instrument when you're singing. So it's kind of nice to just listen to, but rapping is a little different. So you don't really see too many rappers doing that, but singers, like you can just get on there, do a Facebook Live, play some sort of instrumental, start singing to it. And, you know, people will want to tip you, but rapping, I don't know, it's kind of different.
That's true. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Never thought about that way.
How often do you get on like Instagram or Facebook Live?
Never.
Never.
Start
getting on it.
I know, man. I know, but it's just like I was like, what do I talk about? What do I do? I be wanting to like do stuff like that when I go to the studio, just to get on live for a second or something like that. I did that one time actually. The last time I went to the guy up in Jackson, Mississippi, I got on live for a few hours, and then I got a couple of people to write me and were like, "Okay, I see you. That was before I posted anything though.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, people, it looks like I came out of nowhere. Just started, you know, making music. But in reality,
you never showed it.
Right. I've been doing it. Like, even my family, I posted it in the group chat, and my aunt was just like, you never spoke one word of this. Like, the family never knew anything about you doing no music or nothing. And then you just come out with this and stuff like that. And they were just like, listen,
I've got 5 albums.
Right. I got so many songs. What do you mean? But they were just very supportive though, surprisingly, because I was very scared for my family to find out I did music for whatever reason. I don't want to embarrass, I'm a mama's boy, so I don't want to embarrass my mama. I don't want to do anything that she doesn't think that is, you know, good for me to be doing. And I didn't know, she didn't raise me to, you know, to do. She raised me to go get a good job, and she raised me to go to school and to find me something that's gonna pay the bills or whatever. So she didn't raise me to be, write music or going to the studio and stuff. That's not the person. So I was very scared, but she just said that she was very, very supportive. She even went and got, oh my God, bro. My first single that I released was Concrete, and the cover art, she went and got the cover art, put it on a t-shirt, and was walking around with the t-shirt on for 4th of July. And she was like, yeah, y'all make sure y'all go play. She said she was all at work telling people, go play my baby song. My baby song. I was like, Mom, no. Yeah. She was like, yeah. So that's a good feeling knowing that my family's behind me,
Yeah, I could definitely see my mom doing the same thing. She hasn't, but yeah, I definitely know. My dad's that way though. Like my dad's, he loves like just playing my music.
Really?
Like every time I go home, so I'm from Alabama. And every time I go back to my parents' house, like somehow my dad will find a way to play my music. I'm just like, you don't have to play my music. Like I'm sure you're playing it while I'm not at home. But yeah,
my dad doesn't even know.
Really?
Well, he probably knows because he keep his ears to the street. But I haven't told him.
Yeah,
I'm like my dad he's a different story. So it's nothing that we discuss or anything like that. But my dad actually lives in Huntsville.
Oh, really?
Alabama.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably like, I think it's about an hour 30 from where I'm from. So that's like northwest, and I'm like northeast Alabama. It probably takes me, I think I can get to Georgia in like 45 minutes from my hometown. Okay, so it's really far east. But yeah, I love out there. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But have you like, so I know you said Mississippi and up here. Have you been to like other studios or anything like outside of these areas?
Never.
That's something I really want to start doing.
I really want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's being able to even like, so I have all my stuff, so I don't need to go anywhere, but that's something that I want to start doing is just like pay somebody to just record me and then like finish the song, because if they like it, they're going to want to work with me more, and they're probably going to tell other people about me. So it's just like doing a feature, featuring that producer, featuring that engineer, you know what I mean? So that's something I want to start doing, because it gets your name out there. If you show up to like Sun Studio or Royal Studio or what's it, Sam Phillips Studio.
Sun is here, no?
Yeah. Sun. Heard of them. Yeah, Sun, Sam Phillips, Royal. Shoot, who else is? There's, I mean, it's Memphis. There's tons of big name studios, but if you just show up there, and you might run into somebody, freaking, Duke Deuce might be there, Money Baggio, somebody that's in Memphis might just so happen to be there, and not even them, like it might be somebody who does blues or rock or
anybody.
What's his name? Bruno Mars cut.
He be here.
Yeah, he did. What is that song?
He recorded a song here in Memphis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uptown Funk.
Oh, wow.
He did Uptown Funk at Royal Studios.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't know that till I had on Ashton Riker. I had him on the podcast, and he was like, yeah, you can thank Royal Studios for that. And I was crazy. Like, I did not know that.
And it sounds really, really good.
Amazing. Amazing.
Really, really good.
Yeah. That's, who is this? Boo Mitchell. He's down there. Do you know who that is?
I don't know a lot of people.
See, I didn't know who Boo was until I had on, what's his name? Victor Sawyer. He's in, it's called the Lucky Seven Brass Band. Mm-hmm. They've got a brass band in the Memphis area, and they're amazing. But by the way, if you ever get a chance to hear them play, they'll do cover songs, and I think they do their own like music, but just all brass instruments, and it sounds phenomenal. But yeah, so he was telling me about Boo Mitchell. He it was one of those things where he was just like talking, and I was just kind of nodding my head trying to process what he was saying.
Right.
But he was talking about Boo Mitchell's like no longer one of the gatekeepers of Memphis. Like you can get your music out there somehow. And that, that's how it was back in the day. You had to know somebody. If you didn't know somebody, you weren't going to get in the music business. But yeah, he was talking about Boo Mitchell. I was like, who is Boo Mitchell? So I had to look him up. And his dad, Willie Mitchell, is super famous for like all the music he's made, but Boo, he's like a producer and whatnot, but I think he put together that Uptown Funk. I think he was the like engineer or producer for Uptown Funk, and he's done a lot of other stuff. Like I think he's won some Grammys or some other stuff. So
that's amazing. I just want to be in the room I want to breathe the atmosphere.
Yeah, but you can't do it unless you go there. You know,
I know.
Just book a recording session at Royal Studios. You know, if it might, I don't know if it's 200, 400, 500, whatever, how much it costs. Like just book a session, and you're going to be around those people, and they're probably going to be like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" You're just going to start talking, and then you never know. You never know what might happen, but the opportunity's not going to happen until you get out there.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying that I needed to get my music out there. He was like, have you thought about like doing bands and stuff around, like lounges and stuff like that? He was like, a lot of people got their name out there by doing like, you know, performing in lounges and stuff like that, singing covers and stuff like that. He was like, then you'll get people to come up to you and be like, hey, can you perform at this event or this event? And eventually your name is out there. So I definitely want to get out there more. I want to perform. I've only performed 3 times.
Okay.
And
where were they at?
It was here in Memphis.
They're all here in Memphis?
Yep. I performed twice at Showtime in Memphis. And I performed at this Moss Fest. This guy from Atlanta, he does like an artist showcase, 100 city tour every year. But this year he did like 30 due to COVID. But he came here to Memphis, and I was one of the winners. So
nice.
I get to go to Atlanta in December for the finale. So it's gonna be in front of like 7 different label A&Rs. From
wow.
From free bands and quality control and stuff like that. So
that's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's nerve-wracking at the same time. Like I'm stressed out over here. It's like, because I don't want to get in front of these people, you know. And
what song am I doing?
What song? And it was like, well,
what's my name? Right. Like that SpongeBob, my name?
Exactly. And then it's deciding whether you do 2 songs or 1 song. Like, I don't know what to do, what songs to do. But I think I just recorded a song called Blessings 2 days ago with Ryan that I really, really love. And I think that's going to be one of the songs because it showcases singing and rapping. So.
Okay. So what are you more comfortable with, rapping or singing?
I love singing more than rapping, but I love rapping as well. I just feel like if I rap on a song, I'm probably gonna do some singing ad-libs behind the rap. Yeah. Just because even when I hear like regular rap songs, instead of like rapping along to them, I probably like ad-lib and sing or whatever. So
it adds a good melodic sound to it.
It does. So I love them both equally, but if I could only do one, it'll probably be singing maybe.
Oh, okay.
I love singing.
Is there somebody that you really look up to in music?
Absolutely. Beyonce. I look up to Beyonce because of her drive. I feel like she has one of the biggest and the toughest drives in the industry. She goes and she envisions stuff and she goes for it and she's fearless about it. I feel like John Legend. A lot of my songs are kind of inspired by his arrangements and stuff like that because I just feel like he's just so dope and so talented. I really love like The Weeknd. I did the song called Complexity, and it's really, really pop, but it's like it has a sense in it, and it's real Weeknd vibe, but it's very, very pop. And when I recorded it, Ryan was like, "This is the song." He was like,
"This the one.
This is the one." He was like, "This is the one that's gonna take you places." Nice. And I played it for my best friend. I look over in the car, he's literally crying, bro. Like I'm looking like I said, "You are really like." I swear to God, I cannot make this up. He was literally crying.
That is hilarious.
Beside me, he was like, "I'm so proud of you." He said, "Let me tell you this. People not gonna get this song because it's so pop." Yeah. And he was like, "People are not gonna get this song." He was like, "But you got to release this song." He was like, "This song is so commercial and it just is everything." I love the song, but I opted not to release it just yet. Just because I know it's a different sound and I don't want to confuse my listeners already because they be like, "Oh, you R&B, now you doing pop like this," like what it is. But I love complexity. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that's something that I've kind of just I'm a rule breaker. Like I love to not care what people say. And
absolutely.
That's something that I've been trying to do with my music. Like So, you know, I make my own beats and I rap and I record myself. I do everything myself. Right. So I kind of just like screw the rules.
Yeah.
And like, so I wrote, so what was it? Oh, I wrote like some freestyle a while ago, and I recorded some of it to a song that me and one of my friends released like a while back. And then I was like, well, I never recorded the whole thing. So I just re-recorded the song. I made the beat. I made a new beat to it, re-recorded the whole thing, and then just like released it. Didn't tell anybody about it. Like I didn't promote it at all. Wow. Didn't tell anybody. I just released it. I was like, screw it, whatever. Just to see what happens. Yeah. And it's been getting organic plays. Like I see it like gets random plays every once in a while. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. But
it's a mark. I feel like it's a market for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And every song has a place, and someone that's there that's gonna listen to it and vibe with it. It's just, it's amazing that you got so much freedom, man. You just have complete creative control, and that's what I aspire to have about my music, or whatever. So
I mean, that's what I want to. So like my homeboy D, that he lives in Dallas, and he came up here just to finish up his album that he's working on, and we ended up just like straight up for that whole weekend, just recording. And I'm just like, yeah, man, this is what it's all about. You know, just you traveling all the way up here just to record and then like finish up your tape. Like that's what the music business should be about. It's like two people who just have an agreement to like, you know, we're setting aside this time to finish up your music, and then, you know, we're done with it. We finish it up, we find out how we're going to market it, then we release it, and it's good to go. And that's, I feel like the music business is a lot more easier to navigate than what people make it.
You think so?
I think that people make it harder than what it really is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because if you've got a team of, you know, when I say team, I don't mean people who are like, you know, you got somebody who's making sure that they pay everybody. I just mean like people who are doing their own thing, but you're all like friends. You know what I mean?
Right. You
all collaborate well together.
Yep.
And that's what I want to do with like Romera Records. I just want to have a team where it's like, you know, me and Ryan, like, you know, oh, you need your vocals done? Like, I'm too busy, but I can send you to Ryan. Right. Or you know, Ryan sending you to me for beats and stuff like that. So I'm not paying Ryan, Ryan's not paying me, but we just know each other, and we know how we can set people up, and we know how we can help people out. I'd like to have a couple of photographers and videographers on my like team. I had on one guy, his name's goes by SS Productions.
Okay.
And he shot some pretty wild videos. He's done hundreds of thousands, well, probably in the millions of views right now. And if you check his Instagram, he'll be in Texas, he'll be in Los Angeles, he'll be all over the place.
Wow.
And I like to have somebody like that on my team. I haven't talked to him about you know, being team, quote unquote, but like just having somebody who, you know, if I've got an artist, they're like, yo, man, I need videos. I'm like, I know a guy. So that's something that I've been really working on, is just being able to help people out like that. Is there somebody that you've been really trying to connect with that you haven't connected with?
As far as what?
Just in the Memphis area, basically.
Musically?
Yeah.
Not really. I haven't.
You do like research? I have been researching.
See, I haven't done a lot of research. I just know what comes to me, and like the people that comes to me, like just from doing shows. I met this girl named just from doing Showtime in Memphis. I met this girl named Raven, and another girl named Queen. Queen is a rapper. Raven is a singer, and I asked Raven to be a part of my album. So one of those songs, and this other guy named TJ. He's a known rapper around Memphis and stuff like that. Very talented. I asked him to be a part of a song, and he agreed to it. This other guy named Mike. I feel like Mike is extremely talented. That's the guy who will I spoke about the joint album with, and that type thing. So just whenever I see people that I feel like are very, very talented, and I feel like they have kind of like the same mindset as me, I like to go after them. And I like to make, collab with them and that type thing, because it's just networking and it's building, and building stronger bridges just to elevate the both of us or whatever. Ultimately, so not anyone that I don't think there's anyone that I want to connect with that I haven't connected with.
Oh,
or I probably just don't know to connect with them. That's probably the bigger issue.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of people out there. You just gotta find them. I know there's some people that I've been finding on Instagram that I've reached out to them about features. There's a guy named like Young Glove or something like that. I reached out to him. And I've got to get him a beat or a song concept. I haven't yet. God, what's that other guy's name? There's like a few people in this area that I've reached out to. I just gotta get something to them. But I love doing features. Like I love it. It's that even though you're collabing, you're still competing. You know what I mean? Like it's that friendly competition.
It is.
Yeah.
It's that push. Like, oh yeah, you wrote that line, let me write this line. Or you wrote that line, and then ultimately the songs just come out dope.
Exactly. Yeah, my homeboy D calls it eating your face off. He's like, man, you ate my face off on that one. And he knows like if we're on the track together, it's a competition. Like who did better. And I love just like hearing his stuff and then being like, oh, okay, this is what I got to do now because he set the bar right here. So I've got to go right here.
Exactly. And I loved it. I want to be in a room with people who I feel like if we were gonna go toe to toe, you'll give me a run for my money. And that is the type of people who I want to be in the same room with in that type thing. Just because I know that it'll push me, and then hopefully I'll push them to reach the highest potential or whatever. So I feel like I slack off a lot, but when other people are around, I feel like I'm under pressure a little bit. I feel like the best of me come out, or whatever. So just like in writing these songs, where I had to do send it out to the demos, I had to send out for the features that I wanted to be on the album. I was I took a week off. I was gonna hit Ryan up last week to record these songs. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait probably like another week to just really go in and make sure that everything sounds good and that type of thing, because I want them to be a part of it. So I want them to feel like they're a part of something that's gonna be really, really good. Or whatever. So it just makes me go harder.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you have, I guess, planned for your music career? Like, do you have like a set goals or set plans, or are you just kind of just day by day type thing?
Right now it's just day by day. I do have plans on finishing my album process and the project that I got going on with it. I say that I don't want like big arenas and stuff like that, but if it came to that, I'll be happy, you know, to embark on that. But I feel like you just give me a small stage with a group of people who just get it, and a mic and a band or something, and I feel like I had the time of my life.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Just doing something intimate where I can interact with the crowd and it, because I feel like I'm very, very like acceptive of anything people say. Like when my EP dropped, I had a friend of mine call. He was like, I didn't like, some of the effects. He said that he thought it was a lot of effects on one particular song. He was like, he didn't like it and that type of thing like that. But I was like, okay, well, I appreciate your feedback, because it just makes me, be aware of what other people listening to. So I'll go back and change it. So I just really feel like I don't want nothing too big, nothing too crazy. I don't need the fame and all that kind of stuff like that. I just want to get in a position where I'm doing stuff that I love, and I can help other people do what they love, and that type thing. If they do that, and I feel like this what this guy had asked, he was like, what does it feel like to you when you made it or whatever? What does that?
What does made it mean to you?
Right. Yeah. And I was just like, whenever I can take with all my knowledge and my passions and stuff like that, and give it to the next person so they can come up, or provide an opportunity for them to do it. Like how I said, I wanted to do the studio thing or whatever. I know a lot of people. I ran into a couple of people who said they wanted to do music, but they're too scared to. Well,
there's a lot of those.
They're too scared to, and I was like, "You're so talented." So, me being able to provide like a space for them to, grow into their artistry and grow into living doing it, then I feel like I've made it. I don't feel like I've made it if I just make it. I feel like I have to open doors, just like people have to open doors for me.
Yeah,
I have to open doors for other people, and the doors have to continue to open. They can't close. They can't close. They can't close. I keep telling myself that. They cannot close. They have to stay open. So, made it is just, I've made it when other people made it too.
Yeah.
Do
you think you'll want to stay independent, or do you think you'll want to sign to a label?
I actually want to start my own label.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's a goal of mine, is to start my own label. But I can do independent for a while. I really don't want like no real big deal or something that, especially that's gonna probably like end up cunning more than hipping me or whatever.
A lot of people say that who was it? I can't remember his name, but he was talking about being signed to a big label. I don't know if it was like Warner or like Sony or whatever, but he was like, it's just a job. Like they ask you to do something, you
have to do it.
And he's like, it's being signed to a label is just like having a job. And I was like, ew. It's like, that's the point of doing music. Is you don't want it to be like a job.
You don't want it to be like a job.
Yeah. I was like, bump that. So why not just be independent? Like, I mean, the label gives you that fame.
They give you that fame. They give you that promotion, that push. They get you out there. But that's about it.
Yeah. That's why I would be like, might as well just stay independent. They talk about, what's his face? That's Young Dolph. Like Young Dolph, they say he's independent. Yeah. And he does his own thing.
He does, and he makes money doing it.
Yeah. He was telling a story about somebody at some record label had called him and offered him like such and such amount of money. It's like millions of dollars.
Yep.
And he was like, well, if they're going to offer me that, I'm probably worth double. Because they've got to make money off of what they give me. So he was like, I'm probably worth way more than that. Yep. So I might as well just keep doing what I'm doing. And I was like, yeah, that's what nobody else is understanding.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, if you just find, so you've got Ryan, he does your vocals, I can make beats for you. You find somebody else who can make beats. You got multiple different people making beats for you. You can find other people who can do your vocals, and I mean, that's all you need. And then you can find somebody who does your videos, somebody who can market for you, find a good marketer, and that's your label. That's it. Like, you don't need anything else.
That's true.
And you can, if you want to buy your own equipment. So, I do everything off my Mac. I've got another computer. It was a custom built PC that my wife actually uses it now for like when we do video editing and stuff like that. That's in the other studio. I can show you that later. But so yeah, I mean, I've got the interface, I've got speakers, I've got the computer.
Oh, is this that's an Apollo?
Yeah, that's my Apollo interface.
Oh God, bro. Yeah. I want an Apollo so bad. They're so expensive.
Yeah, yeah. They've got my suggestion for you. They actually just came out with a Apollo. What is it called? Oh, Solo. It's just called an Apollo Solo.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird move by Apollo, but they had the arrows. Do you know the arrows?
The arrow, yeah, I do.
So they had the arrows.
I know that was by Apollo.
Yeah. So what they are, Universal Audio. That's what it is. Apollo's the name of the brand. I mean, like the name of like, it's like the category.
Right.
So Universal Audio makes all these interfaces. Well, they had the arrows. What they did was they were like, we didn't want to confuse anybody, so we're going to make this Apollo Solo. It's literally just the arrow. So yeah, they're phasing out the arrows, and they made an Apollo Solo, which is literally the same thing as an arrow, but they just gave it a different name.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I guess if you don't want to confuse everybody, but that's the X4.
It's really nice.
So most people have the like the Twin X or the MK2 or whatever. But I realized I was going to get the Twin X, but it didn't have like 4 microphone inputs.
Gotcha.
And I was like, well, if I'm going to do the podcast, I have to get the X4. So that's why I got that.
It's really nice, man.
Yeah,
it looks really good over there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize how much like I was putting into music until I started thinking about other things. So if you go buy a pair of like Jordans or whatever, people think they're expensive, like they're $200-$300.
Right.
But like I've got a Neumann microphone. That's $1,000. Right. And that Apollo was over $1,000.
Definitely.
So it makes me think about other things quite differently. I was like, man, I want some shoes, but those are expensive. And then I see they're like $100 or $200. I was like, oh, that's nothing. All my other stuff is way more than that.
Well, I'll see some shoes and be like $300, and I'll be like, oh, they're so expensive. But then I'll see like recording studio, and I'll be like, you know what, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. My priorities have definitely changed from clothes to studio to equipment and stuff like that. So
yeah, when you're focused on something, like your priorities completely change. And you think about money differently. You think about time differently. Because if you like, say if you got some friends who are like, hey, you want to go out to such and such place, and we could do this. And you're like, all right, if I go out with y'all, if I had to pay for gas, and then I've got to pay to get to this place and get in there, and then food and drinks, I could have bought a new mic or
something, Yeah. So I was just like, no, I can go buy some new shoes, or I can save that $120 to put towards me an interface.
Exactly. Yeah. Or buy a new computer. All these things. Like you just think about money completely differently, and that's how you set apart the kind of people you hang around.
Yep.
Because then they're going to be like, they're going to be saving.
They'll fall off.
Yeah, they'll fall off, and you'll find out who is really invested in the music with you.
Yep. I was looking at the interfaces. I look at interfaces literally every day. I'm telling you, I have watched every YouTube video there is on interfaces. But the M Audio is I don't know if
I've heard of M Audio. Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think those are good interfaces?
I've never used them. How much do they cost? Like the one you've been looking at?
I wanted the M Audio 192.8.
Okay.
And that normally goes, just for the interface, will probably be about $300-$400.
If I were you, I would probably just save and get the Apollo. The Apollo Solo that I was talking about that they made from the Aero, it's like $499.
Oh.
Yeah. And plus, like,
does it have a MIDI input?
Yeah. Like,
this love.
Because it's literally everything you would need as just like a solo artist, because you're not, you don't need 2 microphones, and you don't need all this other stuff,
right.
And plus you're not doing your own vocals. You just need something where you can record, and
right.
If you just need a good recording, you can just send that to somebody else, and then they can just mix it from there. Like
right.
So the Apollo Solo would be perfect for you. That's what I'm trying to get
Apollo.
That's what I'm trying to get my homeboy D to get, is because like he could get a good recording at home and then just send it to me. All I gotta do is just mix it, and then it's good from there. He doesn't have to worry about like, man, I don't want to have to get a great recording, have to come up all the way to Memphis. Like he could do a great recording at home.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's where a lot of my great recordings come from, home. I'm by myself and I record. Because I have this app called Spire. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I've heard of it. I'm not sure what it is.
It's really nice. It's really dope.
So what is that?
It's a recording studio app. I have it on my phone actually, and it's like, it's so dope because you can record yourself basically like you're in the studio. So these are all like, when I write a song, I always like record on Spire.
Oh my God!
These are all the songs. I'm telling you, and this is how it looks or whatever. So you have a notes where you can write your lyrics here, and then you have like 8 different.
Those are full recordings.
Yep.
Oh wow!
And so I record, and I just record, and you can literally like they do this thing called a sound check here. So you can do sound check, and once it'll realize it's your voice, so it'll put it. Effect on there, so your voice is really, really clear.
That's
and
crazy.
Really, really nice. And then you can mix it also right here, like the levels. It is completely free.
That's
This is completely
wild.
free, yeah. And you can export it and it'll do the highest quality, so it'll kind of like do noise reduction and all that good stuff.
That's amazing.
Yep. So that's how I normally, this is what I write with Spire.
That's crazy.
But I want something more like, you know, this. I don't want to just record to the phone, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially because I feel like a lot of times I go to Ryan now, I write a song that I think is so like dope, and then it's not dope when I get it. So,
and you feel like you wasted his time and your time, and so that's something that you could have gotten back by just doing it at home,
right,
and then just sending it to him so he could just boom, boom, get it done, send it back.
Absolutely,
yeah. That like I always like don't realize how nice I have it until I try to work with other people.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work with somebody else, and I'm like, oh, shoot, they don't record themselves. They have to go somewhere to go. And I'm like, dang.
And, you know, Ryan's a busy guy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know, like, sometimes I hit him up, but most times he come through. Like, it's probably like 1 in 10 times where he don't, where I call him, he'll be like, well, I'm kind of booked up, but he'll be like, you know, if you can come later on, I can get you in later on. He always try to make, you know, accommodations, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I want to just hear it now. It's like one of those things like when I get done with a song, I just automatically want to hear it now or whatever. So if I had like my own little equipment or something, I can record myself doing it, play it back and be like, you know, I don't really like this. I don't really like this. That way, by the time I get to Ryan, we can hit the ground running, you know?
Yeah.
So
I actually, what is it? Oh, my homeboy Leak. So I went to his place. He lives in East Tennessee, but when I was recording with him, it's nice having somebody else who like knows what they're doing, because I basically just like showed up to his place. We started recording, and I was like about to start explaining what I wanted him to do, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he knows."
I already know.
Yeah, he already knows. But he's just like me. Like he makes beats, and I'll probably actually put you on to him because he's makes the most amazing R&B beats.
Oh,
like, and he's a good singer and stuff like that. So I'll put you on him.
Definitely.
But yeah. So he actually taught me a lot about like FL. That's why I started using the FL Studio. And I didn't use anything else until I went to school at Full Sail for audio production.
Oh, you went to Full Sail?
Yeah. So I did audio production with Full Sail, and they gave us Pro Tools. So I figured out how to use Pro Tools with that, and then also Logic. That's why on the Mac I use Logic. So that's when I first started using those two. And then if you get an Apollo, they give you can use you can use Luna, and Luna's a new
Luna. I heard it's a mastering.
Well, it's a whole new interface. I mean, interface. It's a whole new DAW. It's just it's just like Pro Tools or FL Studio. It's a whole new DAW. But Universal Audio just made their own DAW for their interface. So I'll show you it too. It's amazing. It's got great features, but at the same time, it's lacking a ton of stuff. So I don't even use it.
He did say that. This guy named Wavy Wayne on YouTube. Are you familiar with him?
Wayne. That sounds familiar.
Oh my goodness, his channel is so lit. Like I have literally seen every video of his channel.
I have to check that out because his name sounds familiar.
And he's doing right now. He's in the middle of doing like a $10,000 worth of equipment giveaway because he always get like sponsor. Like every time something new comes out, they always get him to do like reviews on them, or he just goes through and show you how to like to edit and how to like record in this and do that. But he's giving away like $10,000 worth, and the Apollo is one of them.
Oh, nice.
So I've entered in there a million times. I done sent him an email. I was like, listen, you know,
yeah.
And he was just like, it's all about, you know, who all into the thing. This is the winner. I was like, you know, of course, I just wanted to reach out or whatever. But
yeah,
hopefully I'm one of the winners, so I don't have to even purchase one. It'll be given to me. But,
yeah, that'd be dope.
You know,
but yeah, man, it's equipment it's more important than what people think, and also recordings are more important than what people think. Well, I'm not going to say equipment is more important. It's basically just making sure you know how to use the equipment.
Yes.
So, for instance, A lot of people bash on FL Studio. They think it's just like for amateurs, but a lot of the beats that you're probably hearing, like trap beats that you probably listen to today, were all made on FL Studio.
Yep.
Because I know like those producers, like Southside, he's from 808 Mafia, FL Studio. London Blue, he's a guy I talk to every once in a while. He's made a lot of music, a lot of top hits. He's been involved with NLE Choppa, what's his name? Young Boy, Rod Wave. He you know that song Letters from Houston?
I don't. Who sings it?
Rod Wave. That song blew up, and that's London Blue.
One of his songs?
Yeah, he uses FL Studio. A lot of people are using FL Studio to make beats. I don't know how many of them are using it for like recording and stuff, but to make beats, they're all using FL. But I use it for recording, and I love it. Like, it's so easy to use, so simple. I think that some people just bash on it just because it doesn't have certain features. So like to score a song, it's like when you have all like the notes and everything arranged and all that kind of stuff. You can't do that on FL Studio, but you can do that in like Pro Tools or something else. So that's why like professionals love Pro Tools, is because it's got all those like features and stuff in it. So, but I love FL. Like, I'm FL gang. I'm a part of that. But yeah, if you get an Apollo, you can use Luno. It comes with it for free, so you can use Luno. But it's just got a lot of glitches. It's in its, you know, it's only been out for
it's been out there long.
Yeah, it's been less than a year.
Yep.
So it still has a lot of stuff. Like they recently, I want to say it was a few months ago or a couple months ago, they just let you make an MP3. Like your only options were like a WAV file, AAF, and something else. Like you couldn't even make an MP3. What? So they just allowed that. And I was like, man, you've literally had the entire length of your company to make this DAW, and there's so many things you've been lacking.
So wrong with it.
Yeah. It's like, to me, there's no reason for a company not to take what everybody else is doing and then just put it all into one thing and be like, all right, here you go. Like, if I don't see any other DAW coming out that's gonna take over like Pro Tools or FL Studio or anything like nothing. I don't think anything new is going to take over, because all the ones that are currently out, they pretty much have everything you can think of.
They got it.
So I don't know, but if you do get into doing your own stuff, as I said, if you have a Mac and if you have an Apollo, you'll get Luna for free, so you could use that. FL's pretty cheap. A lot of people pirate it off the internet, so then it's for free. But I have bought, like, I think mine's the Signature Edition or something like that. So, but yeah, I love FL because it's user friendly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What is there, like a certain microphone that you really wanted?
I was looking at the AT 2020.
Okay.
And it was an AK one too. It's a gold mic.
AKG, is that it?
I can't think of the name of it exactly.
I think the AKGs are gold. 'Cause I know they have like black headphones with like a gold rim on them. So I think their microphones are also they have gold and stuff on them.
What was it? AKG. I think it was.
Yeah, I think it's the AKGs.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it came with a bundle for with the M Audio. I was looking on Reverb.com.
Okay, I would not suggest. So Focusrite is like a good bang for your buck.
I was gonna ask you about Focusrite,
but so I had a 2i4 as a Focusrite 2i4, and then also. Full Sail gave me a 18i20, so it's like a channel rack. Well, the 2i4, I think, just like started crapping out because they don't even have the software anymore on the website, because they're like basically literally just trying to phase them out. It's because I had the second generation. They came out with a third generation.
They did. They just came out with third.
Yeah, and I was trying to like update the software. I was like, oh, I probably need to update the software. So I go to the website. They didn't even have it on there anymore. I was like, that's trash. Like, how do y'all not just leave the software up?
And I had Focusrite before.
Yeah, they're like forcing you to get the new stuff. And I was like, that's pretty messed up.
That is.
So I probably would not ever buy Focusrite again.
I would never buy Focusrite again. I've had it at one time, and it was latency in it. And
yeah. Oh, yeah, that was another issue I had with
I was just like, no, I couldn't do it. I ended up taking it back to Guitar Center. They was telling me I couldn't get a refund, but they eventually gave me a refund for it.
Oh, wow.
Because they said I had used the product code and stuff like that for it. So they was like, it couldn't be refunded, but they ended up giving it back to me.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I would say I haven't worked with M Audio anything. Like, I haven't used any of their products.
I like the way it looks, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And I did some reviews, and they was just saying how when I top beginning interfaces in M Audio is always on the list.
Okay.
As well as Focusrite. Well, I didn't think Focusrite on there because everybody buys it.
Yeah, it's one of the. They say it's probably like one of the best bang for your bucks audio interfaces you could buy, which I would agree with that. Like, I used it for a while, and it was legit, but I didn't realize what I was missing when I got the Apollo. So
yeah, that's how I know about the Apollo through Wavy Wayne on YouTube. I used to watch all his videos, and he was just saying the best one you can get is the Apollo. So Apollo literally has been stuck in my mind. I've seen all kind of images, all different different ones or whatever. And I was like, I want one so bad, but all of them are so expensive.
Yeah.
It's like, God, because it's like $800-900 or sometimes over $1,000 for the Apollo, when I can go get like a little M Audio for like $300-400 maybe. So it's just like, I want the Apollo, but the Apollo is kind of expensive.
Yeah. There's a guy who made a video just talking about like how you can just have your own studio at home, and he was talking about all the things you can buy, and it's truly like for about $3,000 you can have a professional studio at home, and it's all about, as I said, just how you spend your money. If you don't eat out all the time and you just like save here, save there, and eventually you can have your own stuff.
Yep. This the goal. This the goal to get my own stuff. I was even thinking about getting a roommate. My best friend, she was thinking about relocating to Memphis, and she needed somewhere to stay. And I told she asked, could she stay with me? And I told her, I was like thinking that it would be such a good opportunity for me to save money or whatever, just having someone else in the apartment to help cover bills and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about doing that for a couple of months. That way I can really get everything I really, really want or whatever.
You're my ticket to music.
You're my ticket. I can save a good bit of money with someone else or whatever, so I can have the Apollo and everything and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah,
because they say the speakers make a big difference too.
Yeah.
Not to buy just like the cheap speakers, you have to buy like good quality speakers as well. So
yeah, we bought Rachel some Aris 5-inch speakers for her office, and you can like completely tell the difference between those Aris speakers and these Yamahas. Like it's a completely different.
Well, the Yamahas is good too, though. No,
yeah, I love these Yamahas. As I said, like people like London Blue, I've seen him in his studio, and he's got Yamahas. I think he might actually have the 5s. They kind of look smaller than mine. These are the 8s.
They're nice though. It's really really nice.
The only thing I can think of that would be better for me to do would be the so there's Focals. They're pretty expensive, but that would probably be an upgrade from the Yamahas. And then also the Atom Audios. I don't know if you ever seen those, but they're really nice. But that would be an upgrade from the Yamahas. But a lot of people who don't know a lot about speakers and stuff, they know about the KRKs, the black ones with like the yellow rim. Yeah, everybody knows about the KRKs. It's because they're cheaper than the Yamahas, but they sound great. Like I've got a friend who's got some, and they sound great. But the Yamahas are just a little pricier and then a little better. But yeah, I mean, get it how you live. I tell people that all the time.
Absolutely,
like absolutely. Whatever you can afford, get it. But know that you can wait. Like you already don't have it, So might as well just wait a little while longer and be happy you invested that money into the thing you actually want.
Yes, absolutely.
Like I've had to learn that myself, because I'll have the money, like short-term money. I'm like, oh, I could just get this. But I'm just like, you know what? Let me just wait.
Let me just wait. Let me just wait, God. Let me just wait.
I mean,
I end up waiting.
I've already went this long without having it, so I might as well just wait a little longer and then get a better product.
Yeah. See, that's how I am about the interfaces. That's why I was just gonna do the M audio, because I really want the Apollo, because just from the guy from YouTube, he had one, and he just said nothing but great things about it. He was just saying it was the best. So I was like, okay, I definitely want an Apollo. And I also saw like a lot of other like major producers and engineers, like they were using the Apollo as well. And I was like, okay, so this is maybe something really, really legit.
Exactly.
And I was like, should I just go ahead and get the M audio, or should I just wait and save up for the Apollo? But I was like, look, I'm waiting. It's just, I'm so impatient.
Yeah.
I'm so impatient.
It's worth the wait, because, I mean, always think about it like, think twice, buy once. Because if you just think about it one time, you're like, let me just go ahead and get this thing. But if you just keep thinking about it and you just go ahead and wait, and then you'll buy it, you buy one time. Because, so let's say you get the M audio, you're still going to want the Apollo. So you're going to have to think about saving up to get it. So then you would have wasted your time buying the M audio.
That's true.
So unless you just needed it right then, get it. I mean, if you were like, I need to make music now, then get it. But if you don't need it, then just wait.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna wait. I heard because last year Sweetwater had a sale going on, and I saw it, and I was like, they had like the Focusrite and these other little things, these little packages for like maybe about $50-$60.
Yeah.
For the whole package, and I was like, this has got to be a scam. I didn't know what Sweetwater was back then.
Oh man!
So I turned out that it was their little Black Friday sale or whatever that they have every year, and the stuff be like 75% off, and I didn't know that. So I wish I would have known, because I would definitely would have gotten it back then. But this year I'm definitely eyeing Black Friday in Sweetwater, because I feel like I'm gonna get a good deal.
Yeah, they actually sponsor this podcast. I reached out to them, and they were like, "Yeah, you can be like one of the affiliates." So I put a link in my YouTube videos for people that they can click the link, and then like I get a percentage off of like whatever they purchase through Sweetwater. I wish I had a discount code, but they don't do discount codes, like, because they do so many sales.
They do.
So they don't have any discount codes, but like you can be an affiliate. So that's what I am. Like I'll just have a link in my YouTube description. People can click it and I get a percentage off of it. But Sweetwater is amazing. Like there's a website called like Music Friendly or something.
I haven't heard of them.
There's Zounds. You heard of them?
I've just heard of Sweetwater and Reverb. Yeah,
Reverb. I think Reverb is only like other people's stuff. Really? Is that right?
That's why I saw that the bundle with the speaker. It came with like everything. It literally came in. It came with the speakers. It came with the headphone. It came with the what you call it? I can't think of the name of it. What goes behind the microphone?
Oh, like the not the stand, like the bracket.
Yeah, the thing that sits behind.
Oh, like a reflection shield.
Yeah, it came with
a vocal shield or whatever.
Yeah, it came with all that, the mic and everything, and it was like maybe $500.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
the speakers really good. I don't think the speakers are good though. Yeah, I think they're a little cheap speakers, but
yeah, I think Reverb does like it's kind of like an eBay for for people's stuff. Because I was trying to find, there was something I wanted. I don't remember what it was, but I just went from like website to website seeing who had the cheapest one. Yeah, and there's like Music Friendly, Zounds, what is it, Sweetwater, and there's like a few other ones that I'll check them all and to see like who's got the
best price,
who's got the cheapest one, because Sweetwater usually beats them all. Like I always go to Sweetwater for everything.
They got a sale going right now.
Yeah,
I was just on their website yesterday. They got a sale. I look up this equipment literally every single day.
Yeah.
And I just be like, okay, well, maybe Black Friday I'm gonna be ready. My wallet's gonna be ready for you.
Yeah. Check Black Friday and also check. I would try and get that Apollo probably close to Christmas time.
Yeah.
Because Universal Audio does sell on plugins, and it's like their cheapest sale all year is around that like Black Friday or Christmas time type deal. So that's around the time that I would definitely do that. But that's the equipment game is it's expensive, but it's worth it when you wait.
It's definitely worth it.
It's worth it when you wait, which is really about anything like this stuff. So as I was telling you before the podcast, for everybody who is looking and like, oh, you've got different stuff, or oh, his podcast sounds different. So I've got the Shure SM7Bs. I was not going to buy them because I thought my podcast sounded just fine with the AT2020s, and then I was like, oh, the problem was that people were like talking in the microphone. Oh, okay. Actually, let me do it. People were talking in the microphone like this.
Gotcha.
But those are condenser microphones where you need to talk in it.
Gotcha.
So I was like, oh my God. I'm about to buy these microphones just for the fact that people keep talking in it wrong. So that's why I bought these. And then these blue Compass boom arms, I love them.
They're nice.
I was using Neewer. Have you ever seen Neewer stuff? It's like Neewer. First microphone I ever bought was a Neewer like 80 or something like that. It's a black microphone with like gold at the top. It's like a $50 microphone. It's great for like if you're using a PA system, but that's about it. So that was like the first microphone I ever bought. It was a trip, but actually I think I still have it. But so I bought all this stuff because I was like, you know what, it's an investment. I'll be happy I did it, and I went over a year using that other stuff because. I knew that I was going to get, good value out of it or whatever. So that's why I went with it for so long. So whenever you make it to wherever you think your, whatever make it is, do you think you'll leave Memphis?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. If I would have had it my way, I would have left Memphis a year ago.
Really?
Yeah. I only wanted to be here a year. And it's now been 2 years. So
yeah,
crazy how life, moves in a direction opposite of what you think you're going to go.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I definitely see myself leaving Memphis. I would like a home here, though.
Where do you want to go?
I love LA. I love DC.
Okay.
I even love Chicago. It's just, if I was to live there, I would like to live like downtown Chicago or something like that. But I can definitely see myself residing in like LA or DC or something like that. But musically, I know DC wouldn't be the perfect place, but LA would be okay. I feel like Atlanta is a great place for artists and stuff like that. It's just always opportunities there. It's always showcases. There's always something going on for artists to, perform or grow or whatever the case may be. So I feel like Atlanta is definitely an option musically. It's the reason why I would move there.
Yeah. I've made a couple of connections with people in different areas, and it's interesting just like listening to how they feel about the area that they're in. Yeah. And sometimes it's kind of funny because some people act like wherever they are isn't great. So I'm just like, somewhere it's got to be great. Like everywhere can't be bad.
Right.
Obviously, LA and like New York are like the two places, the most populated places. They say if you want to do music, that's where you need to go. Country music, they say like Nashville. But I think Memphis is coming up. It's it used to be the place back in the day.
Yep.
But I think it's coming up again with a lot of rappers. Who's singing out of Memphis that's like big name?
I don't know too many big name singers
I
out
don't
of
think
Memphis.
I can't really
I know
think
a lot.
of any.
There's a lot of rappers now. Rappers get discovered in Memphis like every day almost.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Prince DJ? I actually had him on the podcast. Really talented singer. I'll have to show you his music after this, but you should see if you can collab with him.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a great singer. But yeah, I can't think of any that are like, top name in the industry that are singing out of Memphis.
It's about time we changed it.
Yeah, you can you could be the first.
It's about time we changed it. I'm all about change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know, I think it's good to be in a place where like everybody is doing the same thing, but also kind of bad because it gets kind of flooded.
Yeah.
So like, when people they want to be like a movie star or something, they move to LA. It's like, well, everybody's in LA doing that. Right. So, but you kind of stand out more if you're in a place where nobody's doing that thing that you want to do. It's just a little harder to get put on though.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to get the exposure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think I want to stay in this area. Number one, because I think it's, this is the first house I bought. So
nice.
I'd like to have the house and then, be able to stick around and, know that I started something. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think it'd be really cool to just be able to take over a city. Because, like, I think the people who really got Memphis on the map are, I don't want to say phasing out, but phasing out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people know their names anymore that are in the younger generations.
Yep.
So I think that's something that I could do eventually is just pretty much just start linking up with people and becoming a staple in Memphis because – the music's changing, the people are changing. So I think that was something that I really want to do.
Absolutely.
And then be able to just like, I don't know, I guess just like doing the podcast and doing music as well. It definitely seems like something that could take off. That's what Ryan, when me and him were talking, he was wanting me and him to go into business together. And he was like, yeah, we can have like music on one side and podcasts on the other side. And we can do that all the time. And I was like, yeah, man, like eventually. Like I can't do that right now. Like right now I am swamped with like just I'm back at Full Sail, but I'm doing music business.
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm doing now. But I was like, dude, I am swamped with stuff. I can't do that right now. But eventually that's what I want to do. So
go for it, man.
Yeah, I eventually will. So what is so you say you've got that one album that you're working on, you're doing the visuals. So what is the whole concept of that album?
It's just about the complexity of a relationship, I want to say.
Okay.
It just follows the up and down how, you scoop a person and then you in the honeymoon stage and that type of thing. So I have songs it start off with songs of scooping people and then it goes to the honeymoon stage and then it goes to the demise or the fall of it and then it goes to go through like the different emotions like the anger and then the sadness and then all of a sudden you back with like Mine. We close out the album with Mine. It's basically a song being like, no matter what, you'll always be mine or whatever, no matter how many, I don't care how toxic it is. We done broke up 1,000,000 times and all that good stuff, but I just can't let you go or whatever. Because I feel like there's a lot of people can relate to, that type of, relationship with whoever they're with or whatever. And I know I've gone through situations where it was toxic and stuff kind of like treated on behind me and never really closed their door, and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to put all that into music.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So like when you came up with that concept, was it something that you, I guess, just thought that would catch on to people or?
I literally didn't come up with the concept until after the songs were done. It was just like I was just writing music and no matter like if I felt this way, I'll write a song that way. Like if I felt this way, I'll write a song the opposite of how I felt. And once I got all the songs together, I realized what the songs were doing.
Okay.
And that's when I came up with the concept that I was trying to, give out to consumers and stuff.
Okay. Do you have a date that you're trying to finish it by, or are you just working on it?
We have a date set. We're gonna try to be done filming by like mid-November. That way by November 30th, I'll be able to release the album and the visual to go with it. But
okay.
I don't know how I don't know how much we'll get done because now we got to film for like the features and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I go back to the drawing board.
Got you. All right. Well, yeah, man, it's been great having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything that you want to let the people know? Oh, tell everybody how they can reach out, they can see you on social media and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. It's Met Montrel, MET space Montrel, MONTREL. On Instagram, I'm _ Met Montrel. You can find me wherever you listen. All you got to do is just go to your streaming service, type in Met Montrel, and it'll pull right up for you. I'm also on iTunes if they feeling a little nasty and they want to go a little grassy and pay. Well, I'm also on iTunes as well, but a stream would.
We got to start your Bandcamp that people can buy music on Bandcamp. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, great having you on, and
thanks, man.
I'll have to probably do this again. Maybe have Ryan on at the same time.
Yeah,
we'll chop it up.
That'll be dope.
All right. Well, thank you for everybody tuning in, and see you next time.